jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back
WCS on deck as always. You already know. Salute to the supporters. One love to everyone that rock out with the channel, man. If you're in the building, hit the like button. Show some energy, that positive energy, you know what I'm saying? And as we all know it, it's not too big of a fight weekend coming up. But this is a Hot Grease Chronicles 69. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep the Hot Grease Chronicles active. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of good things happen when the Hot Grease Chronicles are active. We got to stay on top of everything that's being talked about out here about that particular fight. But more so, you know what I'm saying? Keep both fighters relevant in a sense to whenever this fight is officially announced. You know what I'm saying? There'd be some good to say about it. I know y'all like, well, when you do Hot Grease Chronicles, you don't have too much good to say about Spence. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Some news is good news. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's the second name. He's the second half of the name. You know what I'm saying? This is a hot grease summer, man. I know it's about to get chilly out here. You know what I'm saying? Turn into a surgical winter. But yeah, you already know. Let's get something out the way that I want to talk about. And that is the man himself, Sebastian Fundora. He is fighting tonight. He is fighting Carlos Ocampo, who's a previous opponent of many people, but one of them notable, familiar, in Errol Spence Jr., and when he was at 47. Since then, you know, Carlos Ocampo has put away some wins, like I told you before. He took a trip over to Mexico, and he just went ballistic over that mother. He went ballistic. Carlos went over to Mexico with a one-way ticket. He said, I'm going over here to turn up. You know, I'm going over here to build up my record so I can come back and get a fight like this. Now, I'm pretty sure Ocampo is getting paid pretty decent money. He's 34-1, 22 knockouts. All right. When he fought Spence back in 2018, y'all, that man went over 2 months. He went over to Mexico 2 months after that fight. A lot of people don't know this. 2 months after his loss to Errol Spence, and he started just freaking ringing a bell over that motherfucker. Majority of his fights were in Mexico after he fought Spence. He fought 10 in Mexico, 1 in Canada, and then he returned back to Anaheim to let people know that, hey, I'm still alive. He fought Vicente Rodriguez, earning the first round knockout. Dude had 50 professional fights, dog. Well, 51 actually. 51 professional fights, y'all. And he stopped him in the first round. You know what I'm saying? He came back over to the States and like, shit, I'm going to step in there with Vicente Rodriguez and 37 years old, Argentina, and I'm gonna stop him and put me in the running with Sebastian Fundora. For Sebastian Fundora has 0 defeats, y'all. All right, he's 19-0-1. His only draw was Javante Clark. Now, when we look at a fighter like Sebastian Fundora, you know, the towering inferno is his alias, Southpaw, 6'5.5", 80-inch reach. He has 20 fights right now, and he's on the brink of a title shot. Okay. It's a lot of people who don't like what he's doing. And let me explain. A lot of people don't like what he's doing because he's much taller than everyone else in his division. You know what I'm saying? He's 6'5.5", almost 6'6" on a given day. You know what I'm saying? So he's a tall human being. He's in there making weight at 154. This was the same guy who had a very tough fight with Erickson Lubin, was dropped in round 7. He also dropped Lubin in round 2. And some people, when you get in conversations about Sebastian Fundora, what do they say? He's weight bullying. I look at weight bullying as a person that could potentially fight 2 weight classes higher. Do I see Sebastian Fundora fighting at 68 potentially right now? I don't see him like that. I see him as a skinny type of dude who can definitely fight at 60. He has the height for it, but will he be comfortable with carrying, you know, that height, the weight, and be able to, let his hands go the way he does? Now, of course, with height, you can damn near fight at 60, 68, 75, easy. But I'm sure he has to acclimate. I don't look at this guy, Sebastian, and think that he gains a lot of weight in between fights. I don't look at him like that. I don't see it, bro. Maybe the other people that's complaining about him being a weight bully, maybe they can see it, but I don't see this guy ballooning up in weight in between fights where people say he's weight bullying. But what do you want the man to do? He was blessed to be that damn tall now. He was blessed to be that damn tall. So let that man fight. If he's able to balance the scales and fight at 154, let that man fight, shawty. I mean, he's doing nothing wrong, man. Only thing that he's doing that people or his opponent may not like is he's landing punches on their motherfucking head. That's what Sebastian Fundora is doing. He's landing punches on their head, dog. He's knotting them up. That's what he's doing. He can box on the inside, outside. Right now, the only test that I seen that he had was, Javante Clark, in my opinion, and Erickson Lubin until the stop. I mean, Erickson Lubin proved that he can be dropped. You know what I'm saying? You can be a shorter fighter and go in there and have a thorough game plan and execute it. But you gotta have the cojones to do that. You gotta have the courage. You know what I'm saying? You just can't be up there hesitant and saying, "Oh my God," keep on saying to yourself, "Oh, this guy's super tall. Damn, he's tall." No, you got to go for it. You got to go for it. And Carlos Ocampo, in my opinion, regardless of the fights that he stepped in there in Mexico, he's a pretty decent fighter, man. Carlos is just showing you, the boxing fans, it's a template out there that a lot of fighters use. They build up their record because they are allowed to go to other countries and fight. As long as, it's commissioned the right way and all that. Mexico is one of those stopping points. Mexico is one of those stomping grounds where fighters have been over there collecting wins and coming back over here. Canelo did it. And plenty of fighters before him did it. So I don't knock Ocampo leaving the United States, going over there, fighting like 10 motherfucking fights in Mexico, man. Whew, crazy. But he's gonna have a tall task tonight. He's gonna have a tall task, man. I'm just curious about his game plan. That's all. I'm telling y'all, Carlos Ocampo can hurt Sebastian Fundora if he fight the right fight. I'm telling you all, man. Carlos Ocampo can get it done if he fights the right fight. I think he's strong enough. I really do. I think if he boxes and sustains or abstain from taking too much punishment early on to the point where he gets cut or his face start to swell, his eyes start to swell. If he can have that discipline early on and really box Fundora and have success, I think he can do some damage. Seriously, I think he's strong enough to do some damage, man. And believe me, it's a tall task, man. Real talk, physically, really visually, physically, it's a tall task, man. And also, I look at it like this too. Sebastian understands that Erickson Lubin was a step-up fight for him, and he did get dropped. So, of course, he's not trying to come back in this fight and get dropped again. He is trying to pick up the win, but he ain't trying to go in there and get dropped again. Seriously. That's not what he's trying to do. Shout out to the supporters in the chat, man. Shout out to Tony Boswell on deck. What's good? Much respect at World Combat Sports and the chat. Stopped in to show support and hit the like button. Salute. Just got out of work. Yes, sir. You already know, man. Thanks for the $5 super chat from Tony Boswell. Man, support the channel, man. Hey, it goes without saying, man. Much appreciated. Thank you, brother, for tuning in and supporting, as always. Big Blunts and Boxing on deck. What's good with it? What's the deal? We in this bitch. Fundora about to beat the brakes off Ocampo. Hey, man, I'm going to go out on a very, very fragile limb, y'all. I'm going to go on a fragile limb. I think it's going to be much tougher than what people think it is. For real. It's hard in boxing because a cat like Ocampo that's done stepped over to another country and then came back slowly. He went to Canada and then stepped back in the U.S. and fought a guy with 51 professional fights and stopped him in the first round. I don't know what his mindset is. We haven't been able to see him like that. But I'm going to go on a fragile limb because it's not going to cost me anything. I'm going to say that it's a much tougher fight for Fundora than people see it, because people are going to look at him leaving Errol Spence fight on a first round knockout, right? And then moving on to 154 and fighting in Mexico. He moved up in weight now, so he may feel stronger at this weight. For real, I don't think it's going to be an easy fight. I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be as difficult as Erickson Lubin. But you know what? It's a fragile limb. I'm not going to bullshit you. I'm not certain. Nor am I a Carlos Ocampo fan. You know what I'm saying? Fundora fixing to stop him mid-rounds. Also, Tony got him stopping mid-rounds. I don't know, man. I think it's going to be a much tougher fight than people think. Maybe I'm just trying to hype up boxing. With all the hocus pocus magical, freaking Vegas shows has been going on YTC. Maybe I'm just trying to provide some holiday cheers. You know what I'm saying? Chestnuts roasting on the open fire type shit. Eggnog in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Goddamn getting a honey baked ham prepared. Goddamn going and getting the candy and shit. Damn. Say so. I doubt Ocampo make it past the 8th round. Okay, we got some people in here predicting a stoppage. Andrew Charles on deck, man. What's good? King Asian Mouth, what's good with it? Haney fought in Mexico also. Salute. Yeah, I was trying to, keep Haney. You're right. First of all, you're right. Well, I was just putting it out there to let him focus on his fight. He got a fight next week. So out of respect, I was just trying to leave him off the list of reminders. You know what I'm saying? But you're right. You're absolutely right. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Pop was good on. What's good? Andrew Charles, salute again, my brother. King Asia, yeah. Beginning to screw in. He was too young to fight over here. We talking about Ocampo who fought Arrow and went backwards. I can't say he went backwards though. The reason why I'm not gonna I'm not confirming, in my opinion, that he went backwards, because Carlos Ocampo came out of nowhere to be the mandatory for Spence. Let's keep it a thou wow now. He came out of nowhere. So it's not like Boots. It's not like Virgil, where these ranking systems are placing these cats at the highest tier of the ladder and say he's next. Oh shit. No, that wasn't the case with Ocampo. The case with Ocampo, he just appeared. Once again, David Blaine Copperfield in the building. Poof. Goddamn, Campo appeared in the motherfucking as the mandatory. He goes in there and land 2-punch combination, then Spence stop him in 1 round. You feel me? I don't feel he going backwards going to Mexico, because he was never like in an accelerated mode. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't on no rocket ship to nowhere. Him leaving the U.S. and going over to Mexico, fighting all these fights, nobody was looking for him. They weren't calling his name. Hey, man, I just want to say, I know you hear me talk about it all the time, but has anybody seen Ocampo? I really missed that. No, that wasn't it, bro. It wasn't SOSs in the sky. Ocampo, 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 we miss you. No, that wasn't the case, y'all. Real talk, Shawty. I don't agree with that. Like, he didn't go backwards. He got an opportunity, got paid, then went over there and fluffed his record and came back. Now look at him. He hasn't did shit. He haven't did shit that we can talk about since Errol Spence, right? But yet he's stepping there with Sebastian Fundora, coming off a first round knockout from a dude from Canada who was 40-10-1. Come on now. Come on, man. Tony Boswell saying, I'm not saying he can't, but I think Fundora would smother him after the 3rd round and do like he always does to the inside. If Fundora had a jab, he would have a similar style like Hearns, in my opinion. Man, I've seen Fundora use his jab, but he loved to fight on the inside with those motherfucking rubber arms of his. You know what I'm saying? That dude is like a Mexican prayer mantis, goddammit. This dude be striking from everywhere. But I understand what you're saying. Like, for him, as long as he is, a jab is like automatic. To put that piston on there, put that jab on the piston, pop, 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 pop. I mean, he can just about do mad damage with that, because he use it. He has a jab now, but he loves to mix it up. That's why I say Jermell Charlo will stop him, in my opinion. He loved to mix it up. I guarantee he was to get a fight with Jermell Charlo, he ain't gonna be on the inside like that. Jermell would knock him out, man. He would stop him. Real talk, he would stop him. But for Carlos Ocampo, I'm going out on a motherfucking briar patch limb. You know what I'm saying? I'm going out on a limb that's already been splintered by a previous thunderstorm, and lightning struck that bitch. I'm going out to say, Carlos Ocampo, man, this fight is going to be a bit difficult for Fundora than people think. I'm giving Ocampo just a little bit of credit than what people want to give him. I might be dead ass motherfucking wrong, but guess what? I'm not losing nothing out of this. I'm not betting on this motherfucker. I'm not none of that shit, dog. I just gotta say, I'm 43 hours into my no food fast. Jeez. Oh my God, dog. 43 hours into a no food fast. Man, please. I would have to be in this month. Man, please. I can't even put myself in that situation. I become public enemy number 1. Yeah, man. That should be crucial. That should be crucial. I ain't gonna lie. That should be crucial. Fasting like that. Tony Boy, thank you, brother. I'm shooting for 96 hours. Water and green tea. I might call it at 72 hours, but we'll see what happens. Damn. Yeah, man. Stay healthy with that, bro. Stay healthy with that. For real. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I always want to share information with my audience. With blunts and boxing, man, you know, the primary thing is staying healthy. But next to that is I was trying to see what I wanted to order tonight. You know, did I want like a pan pepperoni pizza with some sausage on it and mushrooms? You know what I'm saying? I just like having mushrooms on my pizza, or per se, they have this gourmet burger restaurant up the street where they sell some delicious type burgers, man. I'm telling you, like, man, different type of fixings that you can put on there. I mean, the bread is different, very light, not heavy on your stomach. And then they have these different type of fries. You know what I'm saying? Then, you down south, sweet tea. I mean, the food is delicious, man. The burger actually melts in your mouth like it's cool, man. Real talk. Or, get some cedar plank salmon. I like that, on a bed of freaking rice pilaf, some asparagus, sweet potato. You know what I'm saying? And maybe some dark wheat bread. And then for dessert, get some strawberry cheesecake, man. Yeah, man, that's the type of fast I'm talking about. I'm gonna eat that shit fast as I possibly can, man, so I can get back to the fight. You know what I'm saying? I might even stop by Dunkin' Donuts and get a dozen of glaze in that motherfucker, right? Bring it home, get a nice glass of milk, have me a couple of donuts, that warm glass of milk, man. That shit, god damn. Yes, sir. Yes, sirree. You know what I'm saying? For real. Hopefully none of that, push you in a state of depression or anything. You feel me? What's going on, Mark? How you feeling, bro? Now, see, you got to give your body a break. Your body starts to heal itself once you get to a certain point in the fast. At 48 to 72 hours, your body goes into full recovery mode. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. I know my appetite heal itself every time I get hungry, and then I turn back around and I'll be like, damn, let me see what I'm going to eat, next. You know what I'm saying? What should I cook up? You know what I'm saying? Should I bake some tilapia or some cod, mahi mahi? You know what I'm saying? Red snapper. So should I go that route? So, or maybe some fried chicken out there, man. That fried chicken, boy. Sometimes just like that breast and two wings, or go to Wingstop, get the lemon pepper combo, like 10, 15 piece. You know what I'm saying? Snack on that a little bit. Damn. Ooh. Shit. I might even go up to Dairy Queen in this motherfucker, dog. Get me a chocolate sundae, a banana split, something like that, man. With some strawberries on it. Something like that, man. Eat that shit with some sweet potato pie. You know what I'm saying? The fresh sweet potato pie. Yeah. Oh, shit, man. I'm just fucking with you, bro. Hey, man, if your body can get mold, then you know what? I suggest people to take probiotics. I drink tea myself, so I absolutely agree to what you're talking about. Matter of fact, I'm going to heat me up some tea right now, man. I'm going to heat me up some tea right now. But as far as going on a fast, shit, I can't fuck with that, shawty. I can't fuck with it. I can't fuck with a fast, man. I can't do it. I think a fast deals mentally too. You know what I'm saying? A fast is it takes a lot of mental strength also, bro. You feel me? I'm just saying, man. He said he was going on a fast. I would say, man, I'm about to eat fast. For real. I'm about to eat fast. I just had some brown rice with some gourmet teriyaki chicken with some cabbage on the side. Some steamed cabbage. That shit was delicious, man. Real talk. It was light, just enough sauce, not too much to dilute the brown rice, because brown rice have a lot of protein, more than white rice and everything. But let's get back to boxing. Let's get back to boxing, man. And don't go in there cheating there, Blunson Boxing. I know we can't see you, but don't go in there and goddamn say, oh shit, man. What's the number of the Uber Eats? Oh shit, dog. But let's give it up for Sebastian Fundora. The fight fans are up here talking, and they pretty much saying the same thing y'all saying, that it's going to be pretty easy for Fundora to go in here and get rid of freaking Carlos Ocampo. But for me, I don't think so, man. I think it's going to be tougher than what people think. I don't see him going out like he did Errol Spence. Now, I will make an assumption. If Carlos Ocampo, in my opinion, gets stopped before 5 rounds, he got the orders. He just came in here. He has over 30 professional wins now. So he's coming in here to get a check. If he goes out before 5 rounds, he just came in here with the orders and he's there to collect, period. Because I think he's a lot more tougher than 5 rounds with Fundora. Fundora hasn't changed. He ain't put on no more muscle mass. He ain't did none of that shit. He just knows how to box. He knows how to gauge distance very well when he chooses to. That means distance as in closing the distance and fighting close quarters with his opponents, being he's a much taller fighter. So he's able to land some of those uppercuts that you don't see, hooks and all that, because he goddamn is so tall. But we'll see how that shit plays out for Ocampo. We'll see how that shit plays out, man. If he comes in there and that shit happens in the first round, man, he took a dive, man. Fuck that. I'm going to call it for what it is. Seriously. I'm going to call that shit for what it is, bro. Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more. What's good with it, Bruce? What's good with you, OG? How you feeling, bro? Blake Buns from Boxing said, as soon as I do, y'all will know. Much respect. Man, that fasting shit is no joke. I ain't gonna lie. That's just no joke, man. You know what I'm saying? That shit is no joke. You know, they had the mental strength, the fast for that long, just drinking tea. I mean, I started off drinking green tea, but I got down shit. Somehow, some way in between, that shit gonna be sweet tea. Shit, for real. And then it's gonna go downhill from there even more. Cause they got too much food sitting around this motherfucker, man. Ain't no way in hell. Salute to you, Bruce. Let's get to the high grease summer. It's plenty more fights out here to talk about, that can get the high grease. I like what Regis got going on. You know what I'm saying, with him and Cepeda. I'm looking forward to that fight with Regis. The 135-pound division. I don't know if you even heard, but Shakur Stevenson said that Devin Haney has Lomachenko next. You know what I'm saying? He said he'll wait in line. So a lot of people was thinking that Shakur Stevenson would somehow, jump the line and get that fight. Now, Bob already has that set up. He already has that, on the itinerary that Devin get past Kambosos. He want to provide Lomachenko, the former unified lightweight world champion, to get a shot at the titles. I don't know why to this day that Lomachenko gets so much concierge service and love like that. Dude has 16 wins, man. Like, he hasn't really been in there with some world beaters. You're talking about somebody who was coming off, common opponents of Teofimo Lopez. He was coming off. He's coming off common opponents of Teofimo Lopez, a fighter that he thought that was going to keep the belts, and he was going to end up stepping in there with him for a rematch. Shit didn't happen, bro. The shit didn't happen because Teofimo lost his belts. Kambosos picked them up. Kambosos defending his belts for the first time, lost them to Devin Haney. Now Haney next week has to goddamn step back through the ropes and defend them motherfuckers, man. He got to defend them. Who's going to truly defend their titles out of the lightweight division? Because right now it looks like, no one can successfully get it done. That's my biggest deal right there, bro. Oh my God, man. I would think more people would be talking about the fights coming up next week, but what do I know? I've heard very little about this fight, pretty much from Fundora and Ocampo. But when it comes down to Teofimo Lopez and him coming off that win with Vasil Lomachenko, not being able to defend his belts, you feel me? Not being able to defend his belts, having those delays, which turned out to be catastrophe, and then choosing to fight Carlos Ocampo instead of Devin Haney. So Ocampo comes in here and he gets the win. But from Lomachenko, he didn't have time to. He wasn't successful at defending his belt. Teofimo Lopez, when he picked up all the titles. George Kambosos wasn't able to successfully defend his belts. Devin Haney is hopefully about to go in here and successfully defend his belts, so we can move on to a more enticing fight. I'm not gonna lie, it's more enticing to me when you say Haney Lomachenko. It now we start to get into the jewels of the lightweight division when we have some of these guys fight each other. You know what I'm saying? We haven't seen Gervonta Davis go in there and fight the big name at lightweight yet. We're still waiting on that. Rolly Romero was not the big name at lightweight. You know what I'm saying? We thought Ryan Garcia would be that guy, but he come off fighting Emmanuel Targo, and all of a sudden he can't make weight, but he can lose 20,000 in 5.5 rounds. You feel me? So he's doing whatever he's doing. Devin had finally got the shot, had to go over there to Australia. Lomachenko was in his country fighting. You know what I'm saying? You just have so many people that we thought that was going to be at the top of the heat and we was going to be able to see him fight, but no. Now we got Keyshawn Davis making a buzz. We have Shakur Stevenson buzzing. Jojo Diaz even about to step back in the square too. We need to get a murderer's row up at lightweight for real. We got some depth now. I ain't gonna lie. You want to throw Keyshawn in that depth, but really Keyshawn's still building. But he's gonna get thrown in that motherfucker, dog, due to his Olympic pedigree. I'm telling you, they over there. Top rank is moving the shit out of these freaking people who's coming up. These Olympians, they moving the shit out of them, dog. You know what I'm saying? They moving the shit out of these Olympians. So you're going to see the Keyshawn Davises. Definitely going to see the Shakur Stevensons. And we've already been seeing the Lomachenko's. Lomachenko's a 3-weight division champion. And I don't foresee him going up to 140 at all. So he's going to be campaigning at 135, 130 to his career end. You know what I'm saying? That's what I see. I don't see him moving up. I see him moving down if he chooses to, according to what it is, or even retiring. I don't know. Tony say, how long is Jamal out for? I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't even know if Jamal is still injured or what exactly he was injured. whatever the case may be. But what I can tell you is that his name has been popping up all of a sudden. Some rumor mill was out there that Triple G was talking about finally facing Jamal Charlo. You know what I'm saying? I think Triple G was talking about, but man, I'm like, after seeing him and Canelo, oh my God, dude, Jamal Charlo should make an example out of Triple G. I mean, if he gets the opportunity to unify the division, I really hope Triple G provides Jamal Charlo with an opportunity. Real talk. And then that will leave, if he wins, that will leave the WBA title open up, just like Jamal Charlo. It was Patrick Teixeira, and then it turned in not Carlos Ocampo, Brian Castano. You know what I'm saying? So if he can pick up the WBA and the IBF and then fight for the WBO, then Charlo will not only be a two-weight champion, he'll finally be undisputed in one of those freaking championship divisions, which is good. Real talk. That's good for him. But to answer your question, I don't know when this dude returning. I couldn't tell you, Shot. I can't tell you. Your Jamal sitting down for whatever reason. What if the financial story about Jamal is true? What Jamal is doing a cycle right now to prepare for his move to 168? Hey, that's a little bit extreme in a sense that you would take a statement from his girl to say he might be doing a cycle. But look, it's not impossible. Whatever the case may be, I would more so say the man is out and he's waiting on the damn the window. He's waiting on his name to be called. I'm not gonna put it out there and be dirty and say he's on the page. No, there's no reason. There's no reason to put that out there. Like, what indication have he gave us? You know what I'm saying? But hopefully, he's not in that situation financially, and he's able to go over here and get a good fight. If it's him and Triple G, cool. Him and Triple G it is. People watch that fight. You know what I'm saying? As far as him moving at the 168, I don't know, man. He's just haven't gave me the vibe that he's for sure that he want to move up there. It'll be great if he make the announcement and say, I'm going to fight David Benavidez. But that's so far. You know what I'm saying? That's so far away. Especially now that Benavidez is talking about moving up to 75 and facing the winner of Bivol and Ramirez. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's so far, man. And it's good that Benavidez is saying, fuck it, man. I'm not going to get no respect or love down here. Caleb Plant said I was the weakest in the division, but yeah, he fighting Anthony Durrell and not me. I would have rather seen Caleb Plant fight David Benavidez. Real talk. I would have rather seen that coming up next week than him fighting Anthony Durrell. That's just me, people. Real talk. That's just me. I would have loved to see that shit. If he had a back injury, you can't play around with the back, man. It depends on what type of injury he had back there. But, when a fighter's out the ring doing what they do to try to get recovery and heal up and everything, you never know what they're doing. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's goddamn drinking some good motherfucking green tea. He's getting all that good solid rehab work, that laser treatment, massages, physical therapy, and all that other shit that goes along with it, bro. If I was real, that's what I'll be doing right now. I ain't gonna lie, but I'm a 30 grimy dude. If they catching 2% of cheeses, and most might as well. Hey man, whatever. It's up to him to freaking recover. For real. With Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence situation, I know a lot of people up here talking about what Floyd said, right? Him coming out on Fight Hype and said the fight is going to be in the future. All right. So we heard that. But I just want to remind y'all of something. When Floyd say in the future, down the road in the future. Future means the time or period of time following the moment of speaking or writing. Time regarding as still to come. Still to come can be right now and tomorrow. Any time outside of what I just mentioned, forward is considered the future. The future can be today. You know what I'm saying? The future can be tomorrow. It can just be outside of the moment that a person is currently in. Now, I know I'm being petty with this shit or whatever, but if Floyd going to get on here and say that the fight's happening somewhere down the line in the future and the fight happens in December, then there you go. Now you won't feel so irritated with me telling you, hey, in the future can be December, January, February. People just don't look at it like, unless Floyd would have tacked on a year to it, we have to look at it like it can be a month after November. It can be next year, first semester of 2023. That's how we should take it. I wouldn't take it to heart and say, okay, well, the fight ain't off. Because look, I still hear channels around here speaking as if they ignoring Floyd. Why would y'all do that to yourselves? Why the fuck would you do that shit, bro? Why would you just ignore him totally like he's trying to make it all against him? Y'all got to understand, Floyd does have an ego. I don't care anything about that. But what I do know is his relationship with Al Heyman. He is a shot caller over there. He made Al a lot of money. From my understanding, what I heard, allegedly, he still owed money. You know what I'm saying? If Al Heyman or whoever is a person that owes Floyd money, then it is what it is, man. I'm not going to get so deep into it. But some of y'all are just ignoring Floyd like he's not even a prominent role player over there. He is, bro. He's in the motherfucking rotation. He is. He say if he say he speak to Al Heyman every day, I believe him. Real talk. I believe Floyd, man. If he says he's speaking to Al Heyman every day, I believe him. Just like I mentioned last night, Floyd came on here and said, don't believe that shit you hearing before, this, that, and the other. Don't believe that. That's not true. Okay. It's been solid ever since he said that. Nothing forward has proved that he didn't know what he was talking about. Now he comes back out and reiterates what he said. Hey, I told, boom. Don't believe that shit. Fight's not going to happen now. It's going to happen sometime down the road in the future. People looking at just what he's been saying and thinking he's making it about him. No, he just had an exhibition fight. He's not really out here promoting. Like the word came out that he was going to face 2 Japanese fighters. So he's over in Japan making that exhibition money. He don't have to do too much because the audience is different. He's not forcing us to pay. You know what I'm saying? Like he was fighting Tenshin Nashikawa. He's over there collecting that Japanese money. I know they're not paying him in yen. That's not the way it works for Floyd. Floyd ain't gonna get paid in yen, dog. But he fought Tenshin Nashikawa, and now he fought a second one, and he's going to have to fight this third. He's not making it about him. He's just keeping it square. He's like, hey, it is what it is. Y'all can think what you think. But I speak to Al Heyman on a regular basis. This fight ain't happening right now. You know what I'm saying? This fight isn't happening. But the conversation is so intriguing about Crawford and Errol Spence is that people continue just to put blinders on and speak of it as if it's still happening in November. It's October already. It would be insane for people to actually keep hope alive, believing that this fight is going to happen next month. It's not happening, man. It's already October 8th, man. I can tell you what happened this month, though. Halloween. This was supposed to be the month initially that they was going to fight. That shit went away. Now people are really coming to a reality check that the fight isn't happening in November, and we're left out here at the bus stop like everybody else, trying to wait and see when the next time we're gonna hear information about this fight. That's all we can do, man. In between time, my information, my my thoughts about the fight. I try not to get on here and really talk scenarios anyway. I mean, every day about what's gonna happen to this, that, and the other. My feelings ain't gonna change. I feel the way I feel. The longer it wait, I don't think it benefits Errol Spence, to be honest, because you can think about Bud being 35 and they're trying to age him out. Listen. Somebody can be older than you, but still their health, their mind, body, and soul, their physical skeletal structure, their organs, their health in general can be much healthier than a person that's younger than them, especially if those individuals wasn't indulging in certain recreational activities. That's being real. That's not being petty. That's being real. So if you take a person like that, we cannot see internal to what's going on with these individuals. I just feel like regardless of 35 or not, it's not like he had a very congested schedule the last 2 to 3 years, Terrence Crawford. I don't see that. But also we have to factor in from the 2019 to now that, Errol Spence has been in a very adverse situation. It's a reason why these grown ass athletes that's competed at the highest level, they're saying what they're saying. It's always going to be up for debate. I can see if we was just saying it was WCS on here just saying that, hey, Crawford going to step on Spence. He's going to beat him. Just much more tools to the cachet, weaponry to delegate out to Crawford. Out to Errol Spence. Errol Spence has shown that he is willing and able, motivated to bang it out. You know what I'm saying? He would stand there and let his hands go. You know what I'm saying? People rant and rave and boast about his punching output. Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? But this is something I say. Errol Spence has never stepped in there with an opponent like Crawford. But in my opinion, I feel that, you know what I'm saying? I feel like Crawford has been in there with an opponent like Errol Spence. He's been in there with a fighter that comes forward. You know what I'm saying? He's been in there with a fighter that comes forward. He's been in there with a fighter that throws a jab. He's been in there with guys who do basic one-dimensional type shit. I know Errol Spence caliber. They're going to talk about his caliber. Okay, the caliber and the style when it comes to the style matchups. His style doesn't come off as something that's braggadocious and him having multiple tools to go in there and switch up like Crawford can't make adjustments. But when it comes to Crawford, he has a variety of shit that he can work with. That's all I'm saying. He has variety. It's been on record that Crawford hasn't used all his skill set. So doesn't it hold merit to what I'm saying when people say he hasn't used his entire skill set in the ring? That Errol Spence is more so haven't been in there with somebody like Crawford. He's the one that haven't been in there. But I think there's been several fighters, with the style that Errol Spence bring that Terrence Crawford has been in there with in his career that know how to come forward and throw punches. Real talk. We've seen Terrence Crawford box off the back foot. We've seen him use side to side lateral movement. We've seen him, create space, fight from a distance, slowly close that distance down in short windows with counter shots. We've seen him show his strength on the inside. You know what I'm saying? That underrated clinch strength that he has on the inside. Back then people was talking about, how Errol was so strong and he did this to Adrian Broner and Floyd and all that. Listen, he may have did that back in the day. All right, it's all good. Sparring wars are great. But when he been in there with some tough fighters, right? let's just say when he fought Sean Porter, I didn't see anything unique that he was doing. I felt Sean Porter was turning freaking Crawford at ease whenever he fucking felt like it. I'm ready to see Caleb box Anthony up real quick. And Anthony Durrell can box, man. And you know, styles for styles, man. This is a very good style for Caleb Plant. Real talk. I just hope he don't try to have a conversation. You know, I'll be amazed if these two ain't talking shit to one another when the fight start. Seriously, I'd be amazed, man. I mean, you know, they look. Y'all gotta understand now. Y'all have to understand one thing now. We still haven't had the goddamn weigh-in, dog. Oh shit, man! If these cats don't give us some Canelo, Caleb Plant type shit, man, that shit was just all for show. If they don't get physical in that joint, man, if they don't goddamn give us some energy, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. If the rail don't do anything, Caleb already been there. You know what I'm saying? Canelo pushed him. He came back, slapped him, got two-pieced. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we still got the weigh-ins. So I'm waiting on the weigh-ins, man. That's what I'm waiting on. I'm waiting on the weigh-ins, 168-pound limit. I'm waiting on the weigh-ins, man. I want to see if they're going to be talking their shit like freaking Jamel Charlo and Tony Harrison talking shit. Goddamn Jose Benavidez and Terrence Crawford talking shit. You know what I'm saying? I want to see if they're going to get down, man. I don't sleep on Anthony. He might just catch Plant and be NyQuil. I'm telling you, Anthony Durrell can fight, man. Anthony Durrell can fight. I like fighters who don't duck the fade. You know, sometimes a fighter, like, that's another thing that comes with Crawford and Spence, right? The conversation is always going to go back and forth over this understanding of who's delaying the fight, who is the crossing guard, who's slowing down traffic for this fight to happen. It's always gonna be finger pointing. It's always gonna be motherfuckers saying, "Well, this person doing it," you know, like they were saying Crawford's asking too much, he's demanding too much, he should just sign. And then you have people over here believing that, you know, PBC is the problem. Errol Spence knows what's going on, but yet he's making it seem like he wants to fight. Now, a part of me can say Errol Spence, he may want to fight. But from what I've been hearing coming out that side with PBC on all the damn stipulations that they placing on it, and then to hear Errol Spence say what he said out of his mouth when he was leaving that arena, I don't know. It seems like it's a very minimal respect of him trying to make the fight. Very minimal. And then I think another reason why they trying to rake Crawford across the coals is that he's refusing to sign a multi-fight deal with him. I think that's another example they're trying to make. They said, we're trying to lock you in. We're trying to make sure we're going to have some, 2 more fights after this. And you're going to fight under the PBC banner. That's what we want, TGB. You know what I'm saying? TGB. We want to lock you in for multiple fights. But you ain't willing to give us that. So we're going to give you the very lowest minimum, period. So it seems like they're trying to teach the man a lesson. Like, no, you're not going against the grain, bro. You're not. I think truth be told, I think the blame should be spreaded when it comes to PBC from Al Heyman and Errol Spence. I think it should be spreaded. Just because Spence come out and say that the shit's gonna happen next. What is shit? What is shit? Shit don't tell me nothing. You take away the S and the H, what does it lead? It. What does it tell you? Does it have a description to it? No, right? So the entire word, what does that mean? You're not being descriptive. You didn't put a name to it. You didn't put a date to it. And it means absolutely nada, period. Plant will look great early. He'll probably level off after the 6th or 7th round. Question is, by that time, would the rail be able to do something? Happen at the age of 38? I don't think so. We have to see, man. Because Caleb Plant can box, but Anthony Rail can too. And then if he channeled his Bernard Hopkins, freaking George Foreman, Archie Moore, you know what I'm saying? Channel some of these guys who stayed around and had success. You know what I'm saying? Later on in their year, whatever. The Manny Packs. You know. Let's see what happens. Shout out to Mitch on deck. Tony said, I think Plant outpoints him. Just saying, if Plant goes in there and looks past him, he might get a ride or a rude awakening. I hear you. I hear you. Both fighters can box now. We know that. I still give Caleb Plant the edge, though. I give Caleb Plant the edge, man. Though he lost that fight to damn Canelo Alvarez, I think he learned something in there, real talk. Because he was doing well in there against Canelo. So the way he looked in there against Canelo, vice the way Anthony Durrell looked against David Benavidez, in my opinion, I still give Caleb Plant the edge. I do. I give Caleb Plant the edge on this shit. I give him the edge, man. You know, maybe he had a happy moment in there where he knew he was getting that 10 mil plus. And he said, hey, I want to talk. Dude, am I better than what you thought? Come on, how am I doing? Oh man, you just set me and my girl straight, man. I totally appreciate that. Thank you. That 10 mil plus is gonna go a long ways for us, man. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Nashville, Tennessee. Appreciate you. Salute to everybody. You know, Sweet Hands was like, shit. I'm happy, man. I'm grateful. I'm getting paid the most of my career. I just want to have a conversation, dog. Hey, Canelo, how you doing over there, buddy? That's what I got from it, bro. That shit was crazy. Man, hold on for I gotta take this phone call from moms right quick. Y'all hold on for a second. Well, I'm back. I'm back. Had to take the phone call, shouty. For real. All right, we back. So, of course, where we at right now with the Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence is we at the point of pause once again. Even though the conversation is going to continue to be rapid on here on YouTube, we at the point of pause again with the fight. We have no idea. We have no projection. We don't have shit. We don't have itinerary. We don't have nothing as to when this shit gonna happen or either happen. But still, I still have faith. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, the longer it holds out, I think it more so of a disadvantage when it comes to Errol Spence in this situation because he needs to remain active. In my opinion, he needs to remain active, keep his mind freaking busy, and training and all this other shit because if it's too much time off, it can be bad for any fighter. But in his point, and in his sense, just my opinion, I just think he needs to be, having a fight on the schedule and stay busy. So, whatever he's doing outside of the ring won't affect him and getting back in shape for Crawford because he's going to need to be in the best shape of his life to go in there. I wanted to touch on the Derrick James situation. I know people are saying that, okay, Derrick James, he should be this coach. He has 2 unified champions and so forth. But it's been on record that Jermell Charlo and Errol Spence, they don't listen to him like people try to assume. Like the Spencer Hollis would try to assume that, hey, they listen to him like that. No, there's plenty of fights out there that they weren't listening. They really weren't listening the entire time to what DJ was saying. Just to this last fight with Udenis Ugas, how can you have lapses in focus? You know what I'm saying? Is your coach out there giving out commands, yelling out commands to you? You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to be following you every round to keep you focused themselves. But ultimately, the fighter's supposed to stay focused too. It's been many times, just like the Charlo situation with Trout, Tony Harrison. It's just been many times where they just don't listen to the coach. And from my understanding, DJ is not the primary coach for Jermell Charlo. And he may be the primary coach for Errol Spence per se, but who knows? You know what I'm saying? Crawford has multiple trainers. I would assume that in order for them to do what Derrick James so-called, changed levels, you know what I'm saying? He's going to have to get a different set of eyes on there, and they're going to have to go to some different people and dig a little bit deeper, for this fight whenever it happens. But the only thing we can do, man, is just keep faith. And like I said before, don't get too addicted to all the scenarios that you're going to hear. That's why I'll come in hot. Look, when I come in hot on this topic, I'll come in hot. But I'll lay low, man. I'll lay low for a little bit. No, the fight's not happening. I come in hot when it starts to pick up again. Drop the hot grease on this shit. Crawford already know what it is. I don't have to create storylines. Meet him, and when I was purchasing a big goat, I just happened to see him and this girl walking. I don't have to do that, bro. You know, I just want the fight to happen. I still feel that the longer it wait is gonna be a disadvantage for freaking Errol Spence. People can say what they want. The stories will go how they are. From start to finish. People give their picks on why they think Errol Spence gonna win. The same as we're gonna give our picks on why we think Bud will win. You know what I'm saying? What I do like about the tones of the conversation is that they're not really bringing up this resume bullshit too often. That should be dead in the water, dead, done. You know what I'm saying? Bringing up the resume, it don't make any sense. They bring up the resume. Seriously. It makes no sense at all because it's not going to change anything. Like I said before, Terrence Crawford has more knockouts than Errol Spence has wins. Does that have anything to do with his resume? No. It does have something to do with experience. Crawford has more divisions. People tend to want to exclude that, omit it, and act like it doesn't exist. It does. It absolutely exists. Terrence Crawford has earned a T-shirt that Errol Spence is looking to get. Been there, done that. Vacated right after he picked it up. I'm going to 147. Haven't looked back. Now, I like the conversational tone of people talking about skills for skills. How this fighter talks. I mean, not talks. How this fighter boxes, and how their opponent is going to box. You know what I'm saying? What adjustments may have to be made. People just coming up with all these boxing scenarios, which makes it more healthier of a dialogue to listen to, rather than just getting dirty. You know what I'm saying? Just saying the same shit over and over again. You know what I'm saying? Even though stuff that's public record, like his accident, that's not going anywhere. But from my understanding, whenever that's brought up, people get absolutely angry about it. But it's something that you just can't come out unscathed. That's all I'm saying. You just can't come out unscathed from that. Y'all can't overlook the fact this man went looking for his mouthpiece when it's a referee in the ring. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And another thing that's been on my mind about this fight, I'm just wondering how testing is going to be. Are they going to have VADA testing for this fight? Because it just seems, from what I'm looking at, I might be wrong. Somebody correct me. It seems like VADA, the last time he was on VADA, was before the Sean Porter fight. But anybody in the chat, know anything else? Just help me. Just help me out with it. You know what I'm saying? What do y'all think about that Chris Eubanks situation? Chris Eubanks weighed in, and he was he was a little ways off his rehydration. Or he was on point, a little bit off his rehydration weight, but he was very close. So he pretty much did that to say, I maintain my word in this contractual agreement. I held up my side of the bargain. You didn't, Conor Ben. You didn't hold it up. And there's many people out there that's saying that Eubanks Sr. pretty much dropped the ball, dropped the dime, so to speak, the roll of quarters, and made mention that, hey, Conor Ben may be dirty. And they tested him. But not only did they test Conor Ben, they tested freaking Chris Eubanks after he had did an interview, I believe, saying he was a clean fighter. You know what I'm saying? They tested him, dog. They made sure they go get him. And for what we know, he didn't come back dirty. You know what I'm saying? So that's a plus on his part. That gives him pretty much an upper hand. For Conor Ben, this ain't the end of his fucking career. We just curious as to how they're gonna run the gauntlet with not legal action, but affordable punishment. What is the punishment gonna be over there for Conor Ben? What is it going to be, bro? You know what I'm saying? What is the punishment going to be? They have to suspend that man. They have to. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You have to suspend that, bro. He fucked up. He popped dirty. You got to suspend him. They're not really probably trying to suspend Conor Ben because it's a lot of money in this fight. So they probably want to wait a week or two and then bring it back, Eddie Hearns. You know what I'm saying? But they want this fight so bad, man. They want this fight so bad. I just know Eubanks Sr. is happy. His son is not stepping in the square with Conor Ben right now. I know he's happy. That's what he wanted. He didn't want this fight. He didn't like the fight. None of that shit. You know? So shout out to Eubanks, man. I don't know if it earned him some more fans or whatever, but shout out to Eubanks for making his rehydration clause wait, showing the fans that he was disciplined, he was clean, and we'll see what happened in the future, man. We'll see if they suspend Conor Ben and take necessary action. From what I read online, they was talking about Conor Ben could face a 4-year ban, y'all. You know what I'm saying? He could face up to 4-year ban. Hey, that's his fault. Dude. Hey, that's his fault, bro. Real talk. That's his fault. I don't have nothing to say about that. Like, I'm not feeling no freaking empathy for him. None of that. Like, he chose to do that shit to bulk up and weight. And I was talking about that shit before. I was like, man, you got to put on that weight the right way. You just can't put on any kind of weight. Sure enough, that motherfucker was out there, goddamn, getting it in. Yeah, let me get that too. Let me get 2 of those over there. Yep, 3, 4, 5. That. Yep, that over there. I feel good already. Hey, man, he fucked up, bro. He fucked up. Real talk. He fucked up. The Sebastian Fundora fight, man, and Carlos Ocampo will be on Showtime. You know what I'm saying? It will be on Showtime. All these people sitting up here trying to send me these freaking requests, man. Nobody ain't playing that. Nobody ain't playing that game. Hold on for a second. Hey, but this is what it is, man. I'll be back on a little bit later for the fights or what have you. I think from what I'm looking at, they're going to come on, the main card is going to come on around 10. But I'll be back on a little bit later. Appreciate everybody pulling up, man. I got to take care of some business. I'll be back on a little later, man. Salute to everyone. Support the channel. Hey, turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports. I'm out.